Alright, pups, you ready? Oh, look at that butt. Come here. Come here. Look at your toes. Can I have your toes? Your little toes? Hello, and welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. We are a Crafty Puppy Interrupted podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. Iron has just started rolling around the bed while snorting. Oh man. This is podcasting at its finest. We're professional, I swear. Well, there's the puppy interruption, so soon we will have crafting. Ooh! Oh god. Guys! I just started talking. Hold on. Alright, we're gonna keep going. Hope to discontinue this. You can find me everywhere online as Gabigales and all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi and onceuponacorgi.com. And we are joined today by Audrey and Iron, who've decided now is the time to play Piranha. I just want to say thank you to all new viewers for checking us out. Hello and welcome, and thank you to all returning viewers for coming back. Let's start off 2019 with a bang, apparently. I don't have a lot of administrative stuff to get into before the crafting. I'm trying to put out the pumpkin make-along prize drawing video. My camera cut off halfway through the recording, so I have to re-record the second half. It's just been insane. So that will be coming out soon, and that's basically it for administrative stuff. So let's get into crafting things. Our first crafting event is coming up soon, and that is Vogue Knitting Live in New York City. We will be going this year. I believe we're going on Saturday, because that's usually when everybody goes. I'll just be there for the day. I will just be walking around and hanging out with people, so if you see me there, say hello. And yeah, I didn't take any classes this year. I was hoping I would, but the one class I wanted to take sold out, and then I didn't really look after that, so what are you gonna do? And that is the weekend of January 26th, 27th, and 28th. I don't remember if those are the exact dates, but I know that's when it is. So I will be there, and I'm very excited to be there this year. Last year I missed it because I had to get my wisdom teeth out, so it was not a fun weekend. But it looked great. Yeah, so sad. Before we get into what I'm making, let us get into what I am wearing. I am wearing, starting from the top, the Vortex shawl by Charolette Bory in La Bien Aimée. My cardigan is the Little Brown Cardi by Lisa R. Myers from Oh Wool. And I'm wearing the Wendy Pullover, which is from one of the Pom Pom magazines, but it is by Ruthie Nussbaum? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And on the bottom, I am wearing my Tulip skirt from Sew Over It London, as well as some self-striping yarn socks. I'm wearing the Sweater Weather colorway by Nomadic Yarns, but they are covered in dog hair, so you can't see them. I'm not gonna show you how how much dog hair is on my floors right now. I haven't swept in 2 days. It's bad. I'm sorry. Ooh. It's going to be a relatively short episode. I haven't done a ton of crafting since last week. It's been a lot of energy into a couple projects. So we have we have coffee burps. Hold on. We have coffee. We have talked about in the past and on Vlogmas how we want to wake up earlier, and you can't see it, but we got a new alarm clock that blares fake sunlight into my eyeballs until I wake up. And it's been working. I've been steadily getting up earlier and earlier, except today where it went off, but it wasn't my normal alarm, so what I did was I just unplugged the clock and went back to bed and woke up like 3 hours later than I would have liked. So we're just gonna continue with the day like we got up early and just do what we can. So this is our second cup of coffee, like the past 2 hours. So we have one finished object for you, and that is sewing. The sewing bug is not totally back, but it's coming back. I'm gonna get rid of the ugly hanger. And I have finished a dress for New Year's. Ta-da! I was going to put it on Barnaby, who is my mannequin, but I can't get it over her shoulders. So let's talk about this dress. I made the pattern from the So Many Dresses book by Tanya Whelan, which I got this for Christmas. Jake got it for me after we bought it for his Secret Santa, and I told him, hey, I like this book. It's on my list. So he went out and bought it. Turns out Joann's only carries one copy at a time, so he had to go hunting for it on Christmas Eve. And I did this one? This is why you bookmark things, Gabby. This is why you prepare for stuff. Here we go. Looking in the right section now. Okay, so the premise of this book is it gives you a couple different bodice patterns and then about 4 or 5 variations you can do to that bodice, be it strapless or princess cut or darts, and then it does the same thing with skirts, so it gives you a bunch of different skirt patterns and you just basically mix and match them to make a top or a dress or a skirt. So I did that, and I did the darted bodice with the deep V, but I added cap sleeves to it. And for the skirt I did, those are the sleeves, sleeve, sleeve. For the skirt I did the bias skirt, but I cut it off about here instead of doing this whole long, you can't hear me, the whole long thing, because I only had about 2 yards of fabric, and I knew being a form-fitted skirt, if I cut it on the bias, it would give me a little bit more stretch. It was not a stretch velvet, but I wanted to get as much movement out of it as I possibly could. So saying that, it was a little bit challenging trying to, what is this? It's just thread. Go through and make sure I was doing everything in order, because the bodice is not next to the neckline, which is not next to the skirt. So that was a little bit challenging, but I feel like if I just prepared better, this would have gone a lot smoother. So I did, like I said, the cap sleeves, the deep V with the dart bodice and the bias skirt. For finishing, I got some bias tape. Well, I did some serging, so you can see by my brightly colored thread. I haven't gotten other colors for my serger yet, so I'm still in the practice thread. Some bias tape that I use to finish everything, or for the neckline at least, to do the deep V. And I put in, I'm so proud of this, a side zipper. Ta-da! So this is sort of why I can't get it over Barnaby's head. It is very form-fitting, I will say that, and I didn't want I didn't want the zipper to end somewhere weird, like right at the top of my butt, because it was going to be a more fitted skirt. So I did a side zipper, which I did not find a lot of tutorials. There's nothing in the book about it, and I didn't find a lot of tutorials online about it. So I just looked at one of my dresses that one of my store-bought dresses that I have that has the side zipper, and sort of based it off of that. Yeah, but I do want to make this again in a stretch velvet. I think that's going to give me a lot more give, and it's going to feel a lot more comfortable. Yeah. This was pretty comfortable. I would like to make this again in stretch velvet to give it a little bit more give. I could move in it, I could sit down, I could drive, I was able to eat a lot. It was really nice, but to get into my car, I sort of had to like turn around and hop in butt first, and it wasn't the easiest to get out of. I got stuck in it after I first sewed it, and Jake had to help me, and then my friend had to help me get out of it New Year's Eve after the ball dropped, because that was not happening. So I do enjoy it. I tried doing a forward shoulder adjustment and a sloped shoulder adjustment, which did not go to plan. Iron, you have to go get me something. You can't just yell at me. Go get a toy. Where's Brian the bear? That did not work out the way I had planned, but I do want to try it again with a muslin or maybe just like a regular cotton to make a shove, to really try it, because I think that will help. The book, so cute, goes over shoulder adjustments and bust adjustments and... Are you okay? It goes over a bunch of adjustments and fitting things. So I do want to go back, and I have a ton of muslin and a ton of just like quilting cotton, and make a plain bodice to really figure out what it is, because I did try one of the adjustments, but I think I did it too extreme. So I just need to go back and try it again, but with no end goal to finish anything in less than 24 hours. So I did do that, and it did help a lot, because so one of the adjustments, you measure from armpit to armpit in the front, and then armpit to armpit in the back. And if it's more than ½ an inch difference, then you should do an adjustment, and mine was a full inch difference, so I have a full inch more around my back than I do my front, which makes sense because a lot of us just sit like this now, and we're trying to not, but I think that until... That's also just anatomy, I think. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. Haha. I would like to figure out how to make the adjustment, because I think that's going to help with the fit of my dresses and maybe keep me from hulking out of them when I do things like throw axes and move. I forgot where I was going with that, but I want to remake this out of stretch lace. I feel like it's going to be super comfortable, and I feel like I would wear a lot more. I do have to do a sway back adjustment, so there was a lot of extra fabric right at the small of my back, right above my butt, which called for darts, and at that point I had already serged stuff, so I didn't want to go back, take it all apart, and adjust it at such a late date, so I just put a belt on, and it hit it great. But now I know for more fitted pencil skirt dresses that I should account for putting in a dart or raising the back a little bit. Did that make sense? Like raising the back fabric. I think that would have helped. You know, sewing terms. So that's my New Year's dress. I'm very proud of it. It fit beautifully. It was comfortable. Everybody had such nice things to say about it. I did a lot of the seaming with a zigzag stitch in hopes to give me a little bit more stretch. And I think that helped a lot. I did regular straight stitch for the darts and for the side seams, which I did serge. Oh, oh no, that's the sleeve. Just kidding. So that gave me a little bit of structure. I wanted to do French seams originally because it is velvet and it does fray very easily, but I didn't want it to be too bulky. I think I have enough of this fabric left over so I can recut out the top of the SEA dress that I would like to remake, because it's just too big, but too big in the neckline. So it would be a lot of working around things. So there's my finished object. I don't think I have anything else to say. I did a blind hem because it's my favorite hem. I just did a regular zigzag stitch for the sleeve cuffs because there's not a ton of hem there, which is totally fine. It's not fraying a lot. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. If I don't end up making an... Oh, I did add... Hold on. I did add one pocket. So we have one pocket which has a hair elastic in it. Very proud of it. And that sort of has me thinking about what I want in my wardrobe. It hasn't totally brought back the sewing bug, but it is coming back. I do want to go through all my fabric and pull everything out that I have the patterns for and are ready to go, and see if that helps me kind of jumpstart it, because I don't know if anyone else has been watching the entire Marie Kondo tidying up thing on Netflix, but I can't clean my closet out anymore because otherwise I won't have any more clothes. So we have to start making some things to fill in the gaps. Oh, and now it's covered in dog hair. It was almost dog hair free. It was so close. So close, pups. And that's the only thing I finished. So moving on to works in progress. I'll do the blanket first. So I decided, because it is a blanket and it's an ongoing project, on the first podcast of the month, I will show you what I've done on my blanket to hold myself accountable. This is the Northeasterly blanket by Skeinanigans, and here we go. I am doing the DK weight version. All of this is fingering weight yarn. I am just holding it double, one from each end of the ball, to make it a little bit squishier. So I am doing alternating light colors and dark colors. And here we go. We're starting to build it up a little bit, and I just trying to do one mini skein a night. Not a ton to talk about just yet. A lot of these mini skeins are from the Legacy Fiber Arts Advent Calendar a couple years ago, or general minis that I had in a basket. I am using size 5, I believe, Knitter's Pride Nova DPNs. I find that these have been super helpful because if I have to just leave one on the needle, I have 4 other needles I can work with. And it is living in a little bin that slides neatly under my bed. So there we go. I have no idea how big I want this to be. I have no idea when I'm going to finish it, but it's been really nice just working on. I do have to sit down and start winding more minis. I'm almost out of all the minis that I prepped for this, which is a nice feeling that I'm getting to a point in a blanket where I have to start looking for more yarn, which is great. And I have yet to do that with any other blanket I have started, being 2 blankets. I've only started 2 other blankets. The other project that has been eating all of my time was my Christmas Eve cast on. So I didn't do socks like I usually do, or what was started with the Little Bobbins Christmas Eve cast on. I shamelessly copied my friend who decided she was going to cast on a hat, because once you finish the hat's done. So we both cast on the Sparkling Cider hat by Kristin from Voolenevine. We actually both did it in my yarn, which makes me so happy, but I did it in the Tannenbaum colorway, which is one of our newest holiday colorways, on my penny base, which is a merino cashmere nylon, and I held it with the fig lace, which is our kid mohair silk. So there is the yarns together, and I am about to start the decreases. The pattern calls for 3 repeats of the lace, or like this cable-y section, but I did 5 because I definitely want a lot of slouch and I would like it to fit over my hair if I have it up. So we need about 10 million inches of hat. I did a 1x1 ribbing, just like the pattern, and I am using these small brown or caramel beads. I'm gonna try and really get a good shot. And I really like having the little pop of a contrast for the beads. So I have just the crown decreases to do, and we are done. So I'll probably be able to finish this before the end of the weekend. Right? Yeah, I think I'm on the last, I think I start the chart for the decreases tonight. And I'm knitting it on my 3.5 millimeter Knit Pro Zings, which I love. They are my favorite needles, I think. Oh, and we're tangled, hold on. And it has been such a good potato chippy knit. It's super easy to read your knitting once you get into it, and the cables aren't so hard that you can't do this in public. I ended up forgetting my vanilla knitting when we went out to dinner last week with a couple of Jake's friends, and so I had this, and it was very doable to do while sitting in a very crowded restaurant. Not so much when we got to the beading bit, but we waited until we were somewhere stationary before we started beading, like playing cards at their house, because that's when you want to bead things. So I cannot recommend this pattern enough. Kristin did a beautiful job designing it and writing it, and her patterns are just, the layout is gorgeous. I cannot say enough good things about it, and I cannot wait to wear this hat. And it is living oh so happily in my Matter Root little my 1 skein bag. Oh, it just makes me so happy. And that is all I've been working on. I haven't touched the Electric Love. I haven't picked up Jake's cardigan, should be a blanket. But I did do some swatches, so I would like to share those with you because I don't swatch. If you've watched the podcast, you know, and so far it's been okay, but we're not going to push our luck anymore. So these are for my 2019 Make 18 and 29, no, I don't know. This is for the Make 9 knitting of 2019 sweaters that I'm going to be casting on soon. One of which is a test knit, one of which is a group knit along I'm doing with both of my knit groups. It's basically the same knit group, we just meet twice a week. So the first swatch is I don't think Sam has a name for it, but it is another sweater pattern by Samantha Guerin Designs, which she designed using my hand-dyed yarn in the Marie Cutie base and the Fig Lace base. She designed hers in rose gold and warm and cozy, so I'm test knitting it for her on my Audrey base because I had a couple of those skeins lying around ready for some colors, and the Fig Lace base. So I am doing it in my new Moonlight colorway. So this is the first test of it. I will be releasing it, I think, next week. Shh. Don't tell anyone? No, tell people. Tell everyone. And Nightmares plus 10 on the Fig Lace base for a not so subtle Hufflepuff sweater. So I have done the swatch. This is on size 5s, and I believe I'm a 1/4 of a stitch off, which is not bad. What? Can I help you? Yeah. I have to remeasure it. But I did the swatch in the round to get the best gauge, and I can't just stop petting this. I'm so excited for the sweater. I cannot wait. I think I'm casting this on in February, but I will let you know. The next swatch is for the knit along, and that is for the Itchel Pullover by Catherine Clark. Is that it? I think so. It is in the Pom Pom Quarterly. Hold on, it's sitting right here. It is the cover of the Pom Pom Quarterly Autumn 2018. And my plan was to do it in Dark and Gloomy and this one-of-a-kind gold colorway from Stranded. But as you can see, the contrast is not there. It's not high enough, so I didn't knit the swatch yet. Oops, no wait, throw over here. So my plan is to still do the Dark and Gloomy as is, but have Nightmares plus 10 be the color work. And I'm very excited for this. I'm hoping to cast this on this weekend as soon as I finish the Sparkling Cider hat. We were supposed to cast on New Year's Day, and I believe only one person in our knit group did that, but she knits so fast anyway, so there's no way we're going to catch up to her, even if we cast on like 6 days before her. So these are my new colors, and I'm so excited. Luckily, they are the same weights as these guys, so I'm not going to redo the swatch, which will probably bite me in the butt, but we're gonna go with it. I have not measured my gauge yet on this guy, so if it's totally off, then I'll redo it. If not, I think we'll be okay. And I haven't seen a ton of people do the darker color as the contrast yet, so I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see it knit up. And I'm doing this on my Isaac base, which is 100% Superwash Polworth. I'm so excited. And I'll probably put kits up in the shop just because I love this so much. I'm so excited. And that has been my crafting. I haven't done cross stitch in a little bit. Carrie and I have not met because of the holidays / I forgot yesterday was Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday all day. And then I woke up today and realized it wasn't Wednesday. Oops. Oops. So my cross stitch has been languishing. I've made a whip pile for my sewing of the tulip skirt I need to finish. I have to fix a couple things on one of my Betty dresses. I have to fix my Lizzie skirt. The clasp is falling off, so it's literally 10 seconds of sewing I have to do. But nope, can't be bothered. But being the beginning of the year, a lot of planning is going on right now, and it's been a lot of preparations for the tax season because this year was such an official business year for me, being the first year of only doing Corgi stuff. I want to make sure everything is perfectly in line. So if we decide to go to a tax professional, we've been doing it ourselves and it's worked out so far, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to make sure everything is in order for that, and that has been eating up a lot of my time. The bookkeeping boot camp class has helped a ton, so I'm very grateful that I got in. That's basically the Beyond Crafting section. So I have a little bit of a shop update. So if you're not here for that and you just want to see what I'm working on, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in the shop update, it will be going on January 6th, which is Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at onceuponacorgi.com. I'm trying to put my coffee down and talk to you at the same time and not fall off the chair. We will be having a couple new colorways going up into the shop, as well as some not old colorways, regular colorways. It will be a mostly tweed update. So we will be having, I don't have them here because they're all soaking right now, Nighaen Donn, No Stuck in a Book, and Sunday Morning going up on the iron base. and we have a couple new iron colorways to introduce. So we have Juniper, which is this beautiful, soft, minty sage green. I just love it so much. I am dreaming of a pair of socks in this, or a giant cozy cardigan. Oh, this would be beautiful in that. And we'll be introducing, trying to get the dog hair off of them. Sorry, I put them on my I put them on my lap, therefore they're covered. Viseron, which was, oh, he's gonna knock everything down. Oops. Oh man, this section is so blue over here. Also on the iron base, which is this beautiful tonal, light, not variegated, but lightly variegated blue tones with bits of gray undertones. And if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, oh no, Ice King down. Viseron is the dragon that got turned into an ice dragon. If you haven't watched it yet, you can't be mad about spoilers. He got turned into a ice zombie dragon, and I was looking at him the other day. Jake got me a little pop of him for Christmas, and I was like, oh, he'd be a beautiful one. So I guess, spoiler alert, this dragon will not be in the Dragon Yarn Club, but there's plenty of other dragons in the world. So this is Viseron. And I would love this to be, I feel like this would be like a really nice late winter, early spring shawl together too. The only bases going up that are not iron is I have a couple test colorways going up on the Isaac and Audrey base. So this is Blood Love, tonal purpley dark red, and we do have, here it is, here's the other one. That's version 1 and version 2. So this is, version 2 is on the Audrey base, version 1 is on the Isaac base. And I was just playing around with tonals and semi-solids and, you know, fun things like that. Trying to think of yarn for the wedding shawl, because I have to get that over to my friend so she can get beads for it, so she can knit it, because now she kind of needs the yarn sooner rather than later. So I was just playing around with colors. Oops. January 6th, which is Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope you guys can make it. We do have the Dragons Yarn Club. The listings for that has closed, so I will be dyeing those up this week, and I'm very excited for them. And the next club opening will happen on March 15th. No, March 1st. March 15th? March 15th. Which is the first Skein Yarn Club, which is inspired by the Black Mage series. And I'm so excited for all the yarn clubs this year. With that, all we have is Beyond Crafting, which I've sort of gone into a little bit. We did New Year's Eve. It was a big, in the afternoon I went over to my friend's house because it is her birthday, and every year we go out for sushi or hibachi. And this year she couldn't because her husband had to work and she had the 2 kids, so we brought sushi to her. And she always has a like classy martini themed party, and usually Jake's working, so I end up meeting him somewhere for nighttime. So during the day we dress up and have our fancy lunch and hang out. So we did that again this year, and then we went over to another friend's house for dinner and the ball dropping and played a couple games and worked on a puzzle. We were so old. And then the past couple days have really just been getting back into the working mode, answering emails, setting up the schedule for the next couple of months, seeing what we need to do, getting into new business practices, and really just getting ready for tax stuff. It's not very exciting, but we have watched the entire series of the new Marie Kondo show on Netflix. We watched it all, and it's been very inspiring. I don't want to re-gut the whole house because I know there's no way we have time for that at this moment, but it has gotten me thinking about smaller ways I can fix day-to-day stuff or tidying up, or office stuff to tidy up, and also make me very aware that I would like to go through everything slowly this year. That way, if we do have to move, we can literally just slide everything into boxes and go. We won't have to sort through anything, and go through and organize my fabric stuff, my yarn stash, really get the D-stash going. I do have a small pile of yarns for D-stash and need to put up on a D-stash. I don't know if I'm going to do it on Instagram or a separate account or just throw them up on Ravelry, that sort of thing. So if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it. The most useful thing I've seen is her tutorials on how to like fold fitted sheets and fold laundry and those little things, instead of being like, go through your whole closet and see if it sparks joy. I'm like, no, I want to know how to keep it in the drawer organized. That's what I want. I enjoy that. I also watched World's Toughest Prisons. Not on the same wavelength, but it was, okay, it was good. It was still good. So our plan now is we're keeping up with the bullet journaling / planning thing, seeing how that's going. We're gonna do the updates, we have to do the club stuff, and start planning, just getting ready for the year. We do have a couple trunk shows already lined up for the beginning of the year, another pop-up that we're gonna do with Rebecca from Fuse Fiber Studio, which I had such a good time last year, so I'm very excited to say that we're going to do that again. I guess that's kind of shop stuff. And you know, just try to make it through the year without dying. That's really the plan. That's it. Minimal panic attacks would be good. And yeah, because according to the Knot checklist, everything starts in April. So we have a couple months of slowly doing and thinking about things before we have to hit the ground running with this whole wedding situation. So that's the plan. And that is all the rambling I have for you this week. I keep looking at my bookshelf thinking I want to organize it because it's right behind me. So behind you. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the shop and supporting the podcast. Again, you can find me everywhere online as Gabigails and all my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi and onceuponacorgi.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye. I don't know what this was. Goodbye.